welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone has had a good month so far. Today we are doing another pick a card. For this one it's going to be sort of influences that may manifest themselves over the next couple of weeks, going into the early part of September. As you can see, Poetry Witch has had some visitors. Some of her lovely sisters have come flying in, being as it's the holidays, so we have got extra witches on this picker card. So if you just want to take a couple of minutes to have a look at the pictures and see obviously which one you are drawn to the most, so I'll give you a minute to focus on those. Like I say, you could just pick one instantly, or one just leaps out at you, but yeah, if you take a second to have a look at those, and then obviously I'll put a timestamp underneath, save you listening to all of the messages, and then you can just go directly to the one that you've chosen. So I'm going to start with deck 1, which is this one here. So I am just going to move these out of the frame for a second, and we'll come back to those in a little while. So I'll just move these out of the way, and then we will concentrate on the ones at hand. This I'm going to leave till last, as I always do, because there's a little poem on there that I've obviously manifested myself for the reading, so I'll just leave that resting on to there for the second. I'll just give you a look at the card there. Again, it's artwork by Amy Brown, which I used on my last picker card. So yep, I'll just leave that there a second, and then we'll go with these cards and have a look what's in store. So first one I turn over is Sad Embrace, and the next one is the Six of Earth. Just going to focus on these two to start with. I'll leave the other ones underneath there a second. So looking at these cards, I'm picking up here on financial issues straight away. Sad Embrace is a card to me of total despair, one folding themselves in that kind of frame of mind of, you know, what am I going to do type of situation here. And I do feel more drawn to the financial aspect of it, because if we look at the Six of Earth, we've got this beautiful stag, but who seems to be lost within the wilderness a little bit, but in my interpretation of this is lost within the financial wilderness. I just feel that's whoever's been drawn to this deck, they may have been struggling a little bit financially, you know, just feeling that it's a case of buying things and not really thinking about the purchases, just seeing something they really liked, yes, I must have that. And I do feel it's spiralled a little bit, or if this process is on the start, you know, you can see yourself here sort of in denial a little bit, you know, going out, getting your credit card out, yeah, I'm going to purchase that, I'm going to buy that, you know, I'll pay the minimum payment. We can do that for so long, but then obviously as it creeps up and then we get to our maximum credit limit, then things start to, you know, warning bells start to come into action a little bit. So I'm just going to move those along, and then I'll open this reading up a little bit more, see what, right, we've got the Nine of Earth. So obviously we've gone from the pentacle aspect of like an increase. So this is where my gut feeling was coming from. Obviously I meditated on these cards before, you know, they were chosen, etc. So, but that just follows on perfectly. So like I say, if I hold this card up, you can see there's a blindfold. It's like to say, you know, I don't want to take this into consideration. You know, all these bills are dropping through, demands, you know, and you're just turning a blind eye to it all and basically praying. you know, that you're going to get out of this situation. Like I say, if it hasn't already manifested, but you're feeling you're going along this path, then obviously there is help out there. There is organisations, you know, who can help you with this, even to approach the credit card companies and say, you know, hands up here, I'm struggling a little bit, to the point of, don't get yourself into this situation where it's going to make you ill with the worry of it, because just burying your head in the sand on financial issues, debts, not paying bills, and you just, you know, the letters are just piling on through the letterbox and you're just shoving them away, you know, blinded to them, that you don't want to address it. That isn't the way. There is people there, out there, who can help you through this. Whether it's the banks that you've got the cards with, whether it's the credit card companies, the loan companies, you know. And I do know there are dodgy loan companies out there with their APR interest rates are so high. This is something that you need to look at, get your paperwork out and just approach them and say, is there any chance, you know, I'm struggling, can you alter the APR on my account? You know, basically, like I say, there is help out there. So this is what I'm picking up here with the group who've picked this pack today. So I'll just open it up a little bit more. Right, this is the home. So this is another warning flag to me, where the debt could spiral so much that you get to a situation where it's on a dangerous situation where you could lose your house. Whether that's, if you're renting, your landlord will say you're not keeping up with your payments, you're out the door, eviction. But I'm feeling on a positive note here. I don't think it'll come to that stage. You need to gain the knowledge you need to get out of this. And the reason I say that is because here we have an owl perched. Knowledge. And knowledge is power. You get the right help, you get the right knowledge on a situation, and it will save the day. And here there's a cross. Do you know what I mean? Here's somebody praying, please get me out of this situation. I'm in a mess. You know, I need help on this. But I don't think it'll go to the stage where you will lose your home, because you've got time to gain this knowledge to get you out of this situation. So that's what I'm feeling there. So I'll just turn this one over. Right, 8 of fire. Now, the panda to me is a symbolisation of good luck, change of luck basically. And where you haven't been able to see the wood for the trees, you know, with all this debt piling up on you, and you haven't you know, thought, oh gosh, I just can't see a way out. I can't see a way out. This is saying there is going to be a way out for you. Gain the knowledge, approach the people, phone the organisations. The main thing to do is really, whoever you've got the debt with, whether catalogue companies, banks, credit cards, loans, is to pick up that phone and let them know you're struggling. You know, they're not all ogres. They understand people's situations. Anybody from 1 month to the next, even if they're in a job that they've been in years, you know, if they lose a partner, that income's, you know, out the frame, you know, they're struggling there. Like I say, from everybody can be in debt within a month. You lose your job and you haven't got your mortgage payment, your rent payment. It affects everybody. Nobody is untouched by debt. It doesn't matter whether you're on, you know, £100,000 a year type of thing, because that £100,000 has still got to fund your lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? So, as I say, I'm picking up with a group of people here who may be on this road at the minute. Keep getting the credit card out. Keep getting the credit card out. Max it out. Then you hit, you know. So this is a forewarning, guys. I'm just saying, get the knowledge and save the day. Get it all sorted. They will, you know, set up a payment plan that you can afford, and there is light. I just feel that, you know, you're going to come out of this mess. So if we look at the last card on here, we've got crow spirit, co-create with spirit. So if we look at this crow, to me, yeah, he's got his feathers all ruffled. He's been through a process, but as we can see, he's still perched on one branch, still got the growth to, you know, venture forward. And if you look on this card here, quite a lot of darkness underneath, but it's like a tunnel, like it's saying, you know, you'll come out of that dark tunnel, light at the end of the tunnel, and you will get your financial situation back on track. So guys, this is what I'm picking up on the people who've picked this. As I say, you know, I do feel that you are aware that you're getting yourselves into this predicament, and you're burying your head in the sand, but it's, and then you're getting more and more bills, you know, dropping in through the door, and you're just masking myself off this, just, you know, dark holing things to a point where, you know, your house is at risk. Don't let it get to that stage. Gain the knowledge, as it's saying in here, gain the knowledge from the owl spirit to stop this process going any further. So I'm just going to go back to the card that obviously you were drawn to, and read you my little message to add on to this. And it's got, like a magpie, you were drawn to shiny and wonderful things. You had to have them no matter what, until the credit card sings, decline, decline, there's no more money, what am I going to do? But know that there are others who will help to pull you through. So that just, my little savant poetry on it, just covers the whole aspect of this, guys. So yeah, take that step, pick up that phone, ring up the people who you've got the debt with, and get it sorted, and you will come out of, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel for this. So I hope that resonates for those you know, who have picked this card today. It doesn't mean to say it's specifically you know, directed at you. Look on your family, you know, wider picture really. You know, cross watchers, if you've got a partner, it could be them who are hiding, you know, that they're getting into debt. So just be aware of the signs really. Like I say, if it's not directly to you, just look on your wider aspect of, you know, close friends even. Sometimes, you know, even your work colleagues can come to you, and you can, you know, I've had people who I've worked with, I had a girl there once, and I can just pick up, obviously, because I've got, you know, the sense and stuff. And I could see on her face, and I looked at her and I just thought, you know, absolutely, you could see the worry and that. And I just pulled her to one side and I just said, I can sense there's something. And she actually just broke down and she said, I have got no money, literally no money to put in my car until I get paid at the end of the month, and I don't know what to do. And at the time, I'd only got sort of £15 in my purse, and I just said to her, have this, don't even bother about paying me back. I said, no one, you know, and she was going, my parents won't even help me, and she was just in dire straits. And I gave her the money, and honestly, you'd have thought I'd gave her £1,000, but it was just the fact that she could put petrol in her car to get to work, you know. And fair enough, fair play to the girl. When she got paid at the end of the month, she came back to me with that money, and I just said to her, no. And I said, and she was going, no, please, honestly. Do you know what I mean? So look around you. Like I say, you know, we work with people, even family, and that, you know, and we're so busy in our own lives because we're okay ourselves, we don't see these signs. So yeah, guys, that's the message I've got for you today, who's picked on that. So I hope you can take something from you. Thanks again, like I say, for stopping by on that one. And like, you know, so I do hope you can take the information on board. So I'm going to move on to the next set of cards then. So I'll just move these out the way a second. And I'll just place on the next deck, which is this one. So those who have picked this one, I'm going to keep this card again to one side, and we'll come back to that. And I'll start with the first card. Just put that there. We've got coming to life. And then we have Panther Spirit. So I'm just going to sit there a second and take off the information, what I'll get off this. Right, coming to life, I feel it's relating to a group of people who may have been nurturing a project, something that they've wanting to do for quite some time, whether that's within a work environment, where you've gone through a process where you've sort of either been ill and out of the work situation for a while, and as you've come back into work, you felt a little bit like the new person again, just sort of lost your power a little bit. Obviously things have changed whilst you've been away, but I do feel you've had trouble engaging back into the workplace, and this is something that I've actually experienced, where I've been off long-term sick, and then you come back and then you just feel like a fish out of water, because so much has changed, or policies have changed and new people have come in, and you just think, oh, you know, it's hard to sort of pick up from where you left off. But it's saying you will gain that confidence back. You know, you basically you're reclaiming your power on that. I just feel like it's somebody who's had the confidence knocked a little bit prior to your illness, because obviously I just think it's a work-related environment that has caused you a lot of stress, for then you to be off work, you know, for a good couple of months really, and then you've sort of had to come back and filter in. But now is the time coming in the next couple of weeks where, you know, you've settled back in and you're reclaiming your power back. This is what I'm feeling with the group who've gone for this deck. So I'll just move those along a second, and then I'll open this out a little bit more. Right, yeah, it's just saying you've been out the saddle for a bit. You've been out the saddle and been in the dark. Like I say, I just feel now this is connecting, you know, even more now, that it's been somebody within the workplace who've suffered stress in the first stages. Now, if this hasn't already happened or manifested, it could be people who are feeling this at the moment within work, where they've got that much stress on them that it's making them ill. And it may be that you do get have to go off sick with stress. So this might be a prediction in some instances, and it's saying that don't worry when you do go back after, you know, your period of rest. You know, depression is a word, but if you break it down in simple terms, depressed, deep rest. So after, you know, the deep rest that you've had from that stage, it's saying, you know, you will reclaim your power back. Just give it time to settle back into the position. But I do feel there may be some people out there who are struggling still within the work environment, but you just feel you're out the saddle. Because that's why, you know, the unicorn is a gifted animal. And I do feel, you know your job inside out, but for some reason you've just had this confidence knock. It could be outside influences, you know, when things happen at home and we lose people, or, you know, we suffer grief, and it just can just knock us totally out of balance. And this is what I feel, you know, there's been a knock somewhere, knock of confidence, whether it's been a loss or there's been a separation, and you've just, you know, you've been out of the saddle of your life really, your life as in general, your work, your home. So, but it's saying you are going to reclaim your power. So that's what I'm feeling there. So I'll just open the next card. So we've got the 8 of Earth. So as I say, again, that's why I feel it's connected with work, because like I say, you know your job inside out. You've got many strings to your bow. You know, you've never had any issues of, you earning money within your workplace. But like I say, I just feel you've had this confidence knock, or you're feeling this at the minute. You're feeling that you're losing power within your work. You know, you're just out of sorts. But this is because of the outside influences, as I said, whether it's a health issue that you've been sort of trying to struggle through. But it needs to be addressed. Like I say, if this has already happened and you're recouping and you're going back into the work, or you've just gone back to work recently, it's saying, you know, you are getting your confidence back and you are going to reclaim your power. And I feel like it's somebody on a managerial level. I'm not talking just like normal working staff. It's somebody, I'm being drawn now, it's more somebody in a managerial level. Even it may be like your own self-employed business where, you know, you've had to give the reins over to someone to keep it going a little bit while you've had to recoup from this. Like I say, if it hasn't already manifested, just for the warning signals really, guys, that if you're feeling like this now and you're feeling like you're out the saddle a bit because of your health, and it, you know, if you are self-employed especially, it can affect your finances, because I know self-employed, it's not like somebody who can just get a sick note from the doctors and you get your statutory sick pay paid. So it could, you know, affect your income there, where you have to hand the reins over to someone to keep it ticking over. So there's that aspect of it. But it's saying, you know, you've got the Buddha here, and it's saying that, it's singing here with this card really, saying you are going to reclaim your power back. You know, yeah, you've had a period of time where you have felt like you're out the saddle. You know, you haven't been able to, you've had to hand the reins over, but it's saying you will come out of this. And like I say, if this has already happened and you've just found yourself in this situation of going back to your workplace or going back to your own business, it's saying, to be fair, it's done you a favour. It's done you a favour to address what needed to be addressed within yourself, because I just feel there's been some health stress in the last previous weeks, but it's saying you're rising up from that now. And again, this is just saying, you know, it's coming to number 10 is a closure, and you are going to go back into, you know, get back in the saddle and get back onto the work platform and do your stuff basically. And then the last card we've got here is intention, and the owl basically just perched there, saying that you've had the knowledge to address this. And like I say, if it's something that's already happened, then, you know, you took the right course of action there. You took the knowledge yourself to give you time, you know, to heal yourself, and then come back in the saddle to get back onto your work platform. So that's what I feel there, because obviously the owl's again a symbol of knowledge, and you've had the knowledge, as I said, to give you the time to address the issues that you had with your health. Also on here, now I look at the whole of the cards together, and even though on the main group, as I said, I do feel it's these people who've had the health issues and been out of work and come back and felt like took out of water, etc., etc. But now I look at this as well, I've got another story on the opposite side of the coin, because this to me could also symbolise a small group of people who have been trying to get pregnant, because coming to life, spark of life. And if we look at the last card, an egg. So guys, I've had to throw this in because it's just leaped out at me. So it could be people now, somebody who's tried and tried to get pregnant, and it's saying at last you're going to have this news of where this is going to come into fruition, you know, come into life, a spark of life. So I think it's been obviously a long process, where you've been trying for quite some time on this, and obviously having the egg there, and it's been a wish of yours, obviously wishing to get pregnant, because you desperately want a child. And I just feel that this is a message for a small group, or not even, it could just be for one person, watching this, that this is, it's leaked out to me, that I've got to pass the message on, that have faith that this is going to happen. There'll be good news, to the fact that, even with the Buddha here with such a big smiley face, at last, this has happened. So yeah, that's what I feel on, just like I say, a small minority there. So I'll just pick up my little savant poem on this to reflect the whole of the reading. And it's got, one has sat and contemplated all they wish to do. You've been out of the saddle for quite a while, but now it's time to see your wish come true. Intention and will has kept you going through your darkest hours, but now it's time to take the reins and gain back your power. So I'll just read that again for you. It's got, one has sat and contemplated all they wish to do. You've been out of the saddle for quite a while, but now it's time to see your wish come true. Intention and will has kept you going through your darkest hours, but now it's time to take the reins and gain back your power. So like I say, that is mainly for those who have gone through this work thing. But like I say, I do feel it's more on a manager's level, self-employed level, where you've had to hand the reins over while you've, had to get your health back. And that small minority where coming to life with the pregnancy. So guys, if that's you, then congratulations, and I hope all goes well on that. So yeah, guys, that's the second deck of cards, if people have gone for those. So I'll just collect these up now, and then we'll move on to the final group of cards, and we'll have a look at the message, what we've got there. So I'll just leave that again to one side, and we'll start with the first one, and we have commitment and 6 of fire. I'm just going to open this up a little bit more just to see if I've got, because when I see commitment, it's obviously going to be a partnership here, a relationship. So I'm just going to turn the next one over. Oh, that makes sense. Right. Just have a quick look at this then. So as I say, I pick up here a committed partnership, relationship, as you will. And then with this 6 of fire, I feel that one side of the partnership, whether it's the male or female, has had a job opportunity, where it's a job opportunity where they're going to have to move, whether that's move to a different part of the country or even have to go and work abroad for a short time. But I just feel that one side of the partnership here, okay, as it could be a company who's relocating, and the person's either got to go with the relocation, or basically it's out the door type scenario. But this person, I feel, because it's such a well-paid job, because on his shirt here it's got all these pentacles here, it's such a well-paid position, and he or she wants to go for it. It's like a job of a lifetime thing here. All expenses paid, to relocate. They love the job they're doing. But then you've got the partner here who is struggling with the decision, as in, they have to look at what they've got to give up, whether it's family, if they have, the relocation is abroad. So it's causing deep upset in one aspect of the partnership, and you can understand if this person is in such a well-paid job, and it's like, you know, come on, we could start a new life, but then this person's like, you know, but my family are here, you know, my parents are here, I'm not going to see them, and it's a big leap of faith. But the one side who's in the situation of the job aspect of it, they want, you know, their passion, their love, they want to go with this, they want to go with it. So let's have a quick look at the next one. Got the dragonfly. Transcends, it's got truth transcends illusion. Now, like a dragonfly, it's a metamorphosis, isn't it? You know, coming out of this one state and going into another. And this is where I feel with the partner, with the job situation, you know, they've got to transcend into another area. And you know, it's either you go with the transition, or basically, you know, if you don't take what we're offering you, you're out the door, you know. But they're eager, like I say, that it's such a well-established position that they'd be mad not to take it. But then they're in turmoil because they're taking your thoughts on it. Do you know what I mean? So it is a hard decision. So I'm just going to open it up a little bit more. Move right. Okay. So if we see on this card, obviously the voyage with the balloon, you know, saying there's this move with this job, and then we've got this card here where I feel this is the other side of the partnership who's got their, you know, their home is settled where they are at the moment, and they can see the person going off, you know, allowing them to go off to that job. It could be that there could be a agreement where it's like saying, okay, well, you go, get everything sorted out there, and then I'll follow. I'm feeling that now. It's sort of, they'll come to it'll be a compromise really, whereas, yeah, it's a hard decision for the other person, you know, to try and stop their partner from fulfilling their dreams, you know, with their dream job, etc. And it could be a good thing, you know, a new life, you know, but then there's this emotional pull on the partner side of, you know, just swirling around in the emotions because that thinking of other people. And it's saying here, you know, your family and your friends, it doesn't matter where you end up, you know, you've always got the tie, and you can always visit, and they can visit you, etc. I'm not saying it has to be abroad. It could be just a move, like I say, different city, etc. But if this is going to be such an opportunity for your partner, which I do think it's a golden opportunity, really, the gold colour around them, and you know, the abundance of money, you know, it's absolutely hanging off his clothes or her clothes, then, you know, it's saying come to some kind of compromise, that, you know, let them go off if need be without you in the first instance, and then you pack up slowly, and then you can join them in the future. So that's what I'm picking up on this one for the guys who've picked this reading today. So I'm just going to turn over my little bit of poetry that I've added onto the mix and see what we've got on here. It says, an opportunity knocks on the door to who wants to say yes, but they will be torn knowing it's hard for the other to address, knowing things will have to be sacrificed in order to gain the prize. Time to decide in leaving family behind is worth the compromise. And this is what reflects on this. It's just saying, because this is such a golden opportunity, guys, for whoever your partner or, you know, it relates to. It's such a golden opportunity. It's just saying it's like an absolute golden opportunity for them not to miss. So I just hope this message resonates to some of you. Like I say, it's just things that could be manifesting in the next few weeks going into early part of September, and it's just a heads up really what could be facing the people who have been drawn to this reading today. So I hope, you know, it's not going to resonate with everyone, but I hope that you can take some of the information on board. So yeah, that's what I'll get for you there. So yeah, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I'm, you know, much appreciated, because I'm a fairly new channel, and I'm growing slowly. And thanks for the subscribers who've already subscribed to my channel. Like I say, tiny acorns, you know, and you're all little acorns helping me hopefully grow into something bigger. So yeah, I hope you can take something away again today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks then, guys. Bye.